Welcome to Isis in the Bible. The whole Bible is about the woman who meets with her son, you, on the stations of the cross, also known as the stations of the zodiac. Our topic for the day, for Wednesday, March 29th, 2023, is matriarch. We'll go over what's happening in the sky, and the questions for the day is, have you heard of Ma and Pa Kettle? We did go around the room, and we got some interesting discussions on how not only the show, but did talk about our grandmothers and how the women, they would rule the roost, and they were very stern and strong in the backbone of the families. Wouldn't it be great to go back to the old days when life was simple, like Mayberry, where your mother would be home, ensuring a family has strong roots? Glad you could join us. Okay, before we look to see what's happening in the star, let's look at some of the symptoms of a phoenix rising, shall we, that's happening around the world. Look at this. When you shit on 1 million cars and upgrade to a phoenix, but just the pure fact that somebody caught that beautiful bird sitting there, and Kathy says, well, he's being illuminated by a light, and he is. But that person that actually seen that photograph was being sent a message. I'm hoping they understood. But whoever made the meme obviously did. That's a beautiful one. Thanks, Fiona. Fiona shared that. Sammy also noticed this. He sent me a YouTube page, so I thought I'd share that. These are symptoms all over the world. This is from 2003. Kat sent this. Is Steve Winwood. And he's got a song called The Phoenix Rising. We're going to have the lyrics here on one of the hangouts that we do. From Chanel L, who now lives in Babcock, she sent this to me. There's a 3-day water festival that happens. I'm going to zoom in here. It happens on the 13th of April every year. Interesting alignment, right? The holiday periods extends from the 14th to 15th. They extended it to the national to go from the 12th to the 16th to enable citizens to travel home for the holiday. But if you look for the word Songkran, because that's the name of the festival, literally means an astrological passage, meaning transformation or change. Well, that's Phoenix, right? That's what we're upon. It coincides with the rising of Eris on the astrological chart. And as we know, the Phoenix rising is obviously at 0 point Aries. So these people get it. So what they do is they have a complete water festival. So that's just a guy that I'm going to just skip over because he travels the world doing things. And they just go around and it's a 2-3 day water fight. Look at everybody just getting along and laughing, right? Isn't that awesome? Looks like a lot of fun, right? So 3 days of that. Do you think they know the breadcrumb that they're celebrating right now? Don't know. But whenever there's water spilt, whenever you spill a drink, the divine feminine's around. I've gotten guidance to that. So understand that. It's really cool. All of a sudden, if you hear, sometimes you're the little spout for your shower head, because it goes from the bottom for filling up the tub, and all of a sudden it just drips some water. If you go look at a chart, you're going to see that there's going to be some really, really interesting divine feminine energies around. Synchronicity. Rob was saying Louise spilled some coffee today. Awesome. On the front porch. So today we got a cleansing wind coming through right around while we're meeting. So I just wanted to show you, because a little bit further to what we talked about last week with catching a cold. Are you really catching a cold, right? So if you want to observe weather phenomena, you really need to pay attention to the cardinal points. This would be the reason why you catch the cleanse in your sails, or what we call catch a flu. So I just made here's what's happening in the sky from 10:46 a.m. This is over top of us in Windsor. And if you keep an eye on the time, we'll show you that. And we're going to focus in on the midheaven. That's exactly overhead. So the wind ended up picking up right as the Aries point, the Phoenix rising position, is overhead. And all these luminaries here all create energies. So all of a sudden this big cold is coming through. Well, love is cold. So you can see I was pointing to the 205. So when we understand that everything that happens to us is 100% energy related, and it's a cleanse. And it's trying to cleanse the not good vibrations out, right? So today, you know, Hygeia, we talked about Hygeia and how she produces, this is the caduceus of the medical industry, and how she causes our body to, our chakras, to want to become pure. So we're being induced with love, and those vibrations have to exit our body. And so right now, when people are going to say, oh, I went outside, it was cold, I should have put a coat on, and I caught a cold. No, it's in your chart. These energies come by and you're being cleansed. So right now, here's Hygeia with all the luminaries that are happening for everybody. Mars will do it, the sun will do it, and of course, Mercury will do that as well. So a lot of people this weekend are going to start their little cleanse. So it depends on their chart. So if you start cleansing, and you're going to sit there and try to think, okay, what did I do? Well, who did I go near? It has nothing to do with that. So I just thought I'd share that. And Uranus is winds of change, which is holding up the rear right there. All right. We have a little skit from Ma and Pa Kettle to put us in the mood, okay? Here we go.
Of course, that's just a rough draft.
When you get it smoothed out, we won't understand it any better.
Now, about the percentage. I figure 75% to you, Pa and Ma, and 25% divided between the 5 of us. Yida, Crowbar, myself, Tom, and the baby. That makes 5% for each one of us.
Billy, you're cheating yourself. If there's 25% divided among the 5 of you, that's 14% apiece.
Oh, no, listen, Pa. I wouldn't cheat you. You know I wouldn't. Now, look here. I'll show you. Let me rub this out here. And 25 divided by 5 is 5. You see, 5 won't go into 2, will it? No. But 5 goes into 25 5 times, you see?
No, you're wrong, Billy. Now, I'm a pretty good mathematician. Now, 5 into 25, 5 won't go into 2, will it?
No.
But 5 goes into 5 once. Now, we didn't use the 2 before, so we bring it down here. Now, 5 into 20 goes 4 times. There you are. 5 into 25, 14.
No, look, Pa. Let me prove it to you now by multiplication. 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25.
Well, I'm surprised you're learning.
Huh?
I'm surprised that you're learning. Now I'll show you. 5 times 14 is 25. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 1 is 5. 25. That's it.
No, look, Ma. See, look, you're wrong there because I'll prove it to you. We'll put down 5 14s here. 14. There. Now I'll prove to you by addition that 5 14s is not 25. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20.
21, 22, 23, 24, 25. There you are. Better brush up, Billy. I don't want to see you boys cheated.
Right. So that's what it was like back then. So, all right. So now we're going to talk a little bit about shifting the gears with the same topic of Ma and Pa. And we're going to listen to the wise Commission man, Abdel Hakim Awiyan, who has been holding breadcrumbs, this spiritual alchemy, the metaphysics of the messages we left for us on the Egyptian walls. Here's what Kemet means. The Egyptians called their country Kemet. That's kind of true. Literally the black land. A lot of truth to that. But there's a spiritual version of the black. Kem means black in ancient Egyptian. The name derived from the color of the rich and fertile soil, black soil, which was due to the annually recurring Nile inundation. That's half the truth. The black of Kemet means you understand the black, and the black is pure love, and the black is unmanifest. The black is the essence to which we come from, right? When you go to sleep at night, you close your eyes, it's black, you recharge, it's getting love, right? So let's listen to wise man Hakim Abdel talk about Ma and Pa Kettle.
Hakim Awiyan received teachings about the Commission people in the distant past.
The ancient life system in Egypt here. The Commission tradition being passed down through the mother Mother is the teacher, not the father like patriarchy system. This is matriarchy. She is the goddess. She is everything in the house.
Based on the countless artifacts that show the high status of the feminine, it seems that women had the same status as men, if not a higher status.
In the museum, you have statues. You notice that the woman put the arm around the man's shoulder. And that shows, are they equal? No. Woman was the upper head in the family. When she put her arm around the man's shoulder, she's saying, this is mine. You also see that the sculpture in the old days put the feminine wig on a man's head when he promoted more to a woman than a man.
Men's wigs were layered in different lengths, like steps. Women's wigs were parted in the middle, smooth, and all one length. When a man wore a woman's wig, it was an indication that he had high status.
Only men with wisdom who wear the women wig. So these are the scribes and the physicians and the rest of them.
All you can do is go back into the old kingdom, and what you find is, is obviously a fair amount of equality. The goddesses are revered as reverently as the gods, and there's even the instance, for example, of Hathor, the exception, in that she's the only deity that has a temple column all to herself. So the Great Mother, the great feminine principle, occupies a very important part in the whole Egyptian symbology, the whole Egyptian doctrine. There's absolutely no doubt about that.
Feminine consciousness corresponds to the right hemisphere of the brain and the left side of the body. In contrast, masculine consciousness corresponds to the left side of the brain and the right side of the body. Patriarchal consciousness focuses on history, linear time, dogma, rationality, waking reality, and science. Matriarchal consciousness focuses on eternity, cycles of time, ritual, magic, altered states, and art. If we examine the art, we can see the characters almost always have one foot slightly forward. In some instances, they take a big step forward. In each scene, the goddess has her left foot slightly leading, showing awareness of the feminine principles of timelessness and magic. The pharaoh, however, takes a large step with his right foot. This shows that he is grounded in the masculine. Similarly, we often see images with two left hands. It has been suggested that this is just a stylistic convention, but we should not impose our ideas on Egyptian art. Left hands suggest giving, while right hands suggest taking.
In our culture, we've practically erased the feminine in favor of the masculine. Reading, writing, and arithmetic. Art, music isn't as important. And our society is completely unbalanced because of it. The ancients knew that you could not achieve high states of consciousness without these being in balance. And so they revered the pure qualities of either. And so when we say sacred feminine and sacred masculine, this was the highest form of respect, so that the female would have both feminine and masculine balanced within her, and the male would have both feminine and masculine balanced within him.
Balance between the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine runs deep in Egyptian symbolism. We see gods and goddesses carrying a crook, a flail, and a staff in various combinations. The crook represents the balance of the emotions. The flail symbolizes the balance of the mind, and the staff depicts the balance of the body. Once balance of the body, the mind, and the emotions was achieved, consciousness could develop.
So consciousness develops when you have a balance, right? I think we all pretty much know that. Yeah. So let's expand a little bit about what we just heard. We're gonna move on to Abdel says, we only use 5 senses today, but we have 360 senses. In other words, the whole energy field, like everything around you, right? We have 7 glands or chakras, but like muscles, if we don't use them, they shrink, obviously. So he says that the front of the scarab beetle represents the 7 openings in its head. These are our receivers. We have 7 in our head. We got 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nose, and 1 mouth, right? Now they're saying that the left wing is the consciousness side, daily deeds, digest everything you sense. That's the white. Okay, that's the white. So I'm adding the colors because that's the white, the 7 colors of the rainbow, us as goddess and gods playing in the light from the pure black. Right? And then he says the right side of the brain, we are unable to explain what's going on there, and rightfully so, because that's the feminine portion, that's pure love portion that wants to remain in balance with the masculine. So the white side is made up of 7 colors, the 7 chakras, get it? And the black is the subconscious, which is pure love. Hence why it controls the left side of the body, the left hand, the feminine giving hand. Next time you give a gift or shake a hand, use your left hand and explain why you're doing it to somebody. Because when somebody reaches out with their left hand, you feel so uncomfortable. Just like when Tammy's now getting us going heart to heart, because we all go this way, right? So we're all changing how we adapting with each other. So it's a great conversation piece, but not only that, you are connecting with your spirit if you do that, because there is logical, physical, metaphysical reasons for doing it. So your inner child will know what you're doing. So Psalm 82, I said ye are gods, right? It's a couple spots in the Bible. I think it was John. I got another one. I couldn't find it again. But remember, there's only 2 dimensions, in and out. The 7 dimensions that people are talking about, it's just the 7 colors of the rainbow. Those are just layers of vibrational. There's no such thing as other dimensions. 3 dimension is man's doing, because everything comes in and out as a field, both sides at the exact same time, and they flip around and they come back in. It's all curve linear, not straight lines like man does. That's the masculine, right? So there's only love and lack of love. Pure love, which is the black, and uses the goddesses and gods manifesting, and it's us as goddesses and gods manifesting to the visible white light in which we play. We're players in the white light. So in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 9, self-judgment, verse 6, you dwell in a place which lacks wisdom. They refuse to know me, declares, which says the Lord, but of course we know, I took it out, but the ruling goddess, Lord means ruling goddess. The etymology of Lord stems from Isha, Sanskrit, and Prakrit, which means ruling goddess. Isha in Hebrew meant woman, and somehow the masculine, the matriarchal system has changed Lord to mean a man. So the Lord is in the Bible, the word Lord over 7,000 times. So it's in there. It's just that we got to uncover it now, right? And the Bible is a misinterpretation off the Egyptian walls. So that's us resisting love. Book of Daniel, chapter 2, in your dreams, verse 22. If it is she who reveals the profound and hidden things, she reveals the meaning of the darkness and the light that springs from her. There you go. The light comes from the dark. We use that word dark like it's some kind of voodoo. It's absolutely backwards, because when you can't see it, you don't understand it. But here's an example. I know I showed this many times, but it's always perfect timing to use this. Everything comes from the inside. You're born in a dark womb. The black is pure love. And it's the white light that we as gods and goddesses are learning to play with. But if we come out of balance, like a patriarchal system, then we understand that season is now over. That's the Piscean age. So that's the feminine message, yes? Yes. That's why it goes white to dark. Right, because it's playing with the sun. Right. Right. Exactly. The sun is the masculine and the dark. moon that changes colors because she's following the sun, keeping her eye on the sun. 100%. So as you can see, the prism, does not the prism, which represents our third eye, they're saying there's a crystal inside our head. It doesn't matter. Man is always looking for the physical object, like quantum mechanics. They won't do anything unless they have a particle. That's why quantum mechanics is a theory, because they deny all this. They deny the ether. And that's the biggest buzzword that's out there. Everybody likes dropping that bomb. It's all great, just as long as you use love. So the prism, which is the connecting us to the black, the love, is what spreads us out into our 7 chakras. Okay, I wanted to go over this a little bit in more detail because they touched on it, but with research, it's a little more deeper than what they have. So they spoke about the crook, the flail, the staff, or rather the waz stick, which represents the symbol for the phoenix rising. That's why I changed it, this like meaning. So the Bennu bird, okay, is what's represented by the staff that you see down here. Somebody threw this about to go into a fire. When I seen that, I knew it was a sign that was given to me. So I picked it up right away because that was going in the fire, and I seen that it was a waz stick. So I took that and I modified it, made it into a waz stick. But this waz stick means reincarnation, all right, resurrection, phoenix rising. The hook or the crook is one of the tools that they use for farming, the crook and the flail for separating the grain from the stalk. Well, that's the grain of harvest. That's us wanting to harvest the pure love inside of us. That's what this meaning is. So the crook means to hold your emotions. The flail means you're self-governing. And that's so you can make it for a resurrection, your own phoenix rising. That's what's meant by that. So again, I put holders of emotions, hold your own counsel, and we'll get to that in a minute, and resurrection. Because that's what it looks like on the Egyptian walls, the crook and the flail, and see how he's holding it. And this represents the thymus that he's got in his head, another understanding that goes towards a matriarchal system. It's also in the Bible. This brother here, and sorry for the background, Leviticus 8:8. Then Moses placed the chest piece on Aaron and set the Urim, which is the crook, and the Thummim flail onto his chest piece. It's all off the Egypt. The whole Bible is attempts at interpreting what's on the Egyptian walls. The word Egypt is in the Bible over 600 times. They don't mention anything on the walls, but it's because all the writings is about what's on the walls. So yeah, so it's all about your own self-harvest. Now, if you notice, they talked about moving forward, right? So this is Orion. Orion, can't thou lead forth the Mazzaroth through the ages? In other words, you have been bestowed, you've got everything in balance, you have a crook and flail. When you have a crook and flail, it means you're your own counsel. You don't need somebody else. Everything goes away from you, and there's actual, I can tell you experiences, the whole system starts dropping away from you. The system that delivers you your karma. When you get in that balance, this starts to disappear. I'm having it happen in my life, okay? Things just don't happen anymore. So you can see that he's walking. You just noticed when they showed the Pharaoh taking a big step, it was red shifted, right? So this is where you get to see, this is Gemini. You see the woman is on the cross. This is the line of the cross where there's Horus, the all-seeing eye, who has the womb and the thymus. The womb and the thymus together. Okay, people say this is Upper and Lower Egypt. No. Abdel Hakim Aouyan teaches you the womb and the thymus. This is a status symbol that you understand about divine birthing, and that womb and all those aren't for sports sex, right? So you can see she's standing with her feet together, and the man, Gemini, the twins, he's moving forward. So it's a matriarchal system. So let's talk about you being a goddess or a god. How do you self-harvest using the right and left side of your brain, the black and the white? Let's look at the prism that is clouded by lack of love. So I deliberately took some of these and I just changed the opacity to darken them. Because if we're not pure in balance, well, when a Phoenix rising starts coming around, when we go through a corona chakra cleanse, like we predicted, that's happening in the sky, because we predicted in May of 2019 that we're going to be going through a corona chakra in January of 2020, and then they announced the coronavirus. Okay, no such thing as a virus. It's our cleanse. It's 100% our cleanse, and it's happening in the sky. So the only way to clear this cloud away is with love, because our chakras are going to go back to pure. It's just happening, and we cleanse. So if you want to get ready before your own cleanse comes based on your own chart, then best to start loving no matter what. And when something presents itself to us that's non-loving, it's for us to learn what we got to change. So we got to get back to the black, the pure essence, love, where everything comes manifest. Everything in nature comes manifest from love. And the Egyptian walls just have it just full of beautiful iconography to get us back there, which we left for us, by the way. Okay, just a couple of, I'll go through these fast, but here's some beautiful things about the mother, the matriarch in the Bible. Oh yeah, and Brother John on YouTube spotted the Ma and the Arch, making March. Isaiah 66, I won't read all the scripture numbers, but as one whom his mother comforts, so I will comfort you. Remember, this is coming from a matriarch stating this, because the word Lord means ruling goddess. So when you hear these, listen to mother's love speaking it, not a man. Can a mother forget her nursing child? Can she feel no love for the child she has born? She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come because she knows she's infinite. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. Her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, as he praises her. Many women have done excellently, but you will surpass them all. And these words that I command you today shall be in your heart. You shall teach them diligently to your children, and shall talk to them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise. Honor her for all that her hands have done, and all her works bring her praise at the city gate. Just a few more, and then we're going to break into a little song. For you formed my inward parts, you knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am brave and wonderfully made. Wonderful are all your works, my soul knows it very well. The man calls his wife's name Eve because she was the mother of all the living. You should be known for the beauty that comes from within, pure love, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, stillness, right? Only be careful and watch yourselves closely so that you do not forget the things your eyes have seen, or let them fade from your heart as long as you live. Teach them to your children and to their children after them. And his mother treasured up all these things in her heart. And that's from countryliving.com. I appreciate that. So I was guided to this video for a reason, interesting, and then it fit for today. So I'm just going to play this little short video, and it just felt right for adding this for today.
Listen to the trees, listen to the spirits of the earth, begging us please, stop listening to grief. Listen to the rivers, listen to the sea, listen to the spirits of the deep, begging us please, stop listening to grief. She sent the drought to warn us. She sent the storms to scorn us. But we don't listen. We burn and we break and we take and we take and we take till it's too late. Oh, where did the beasts go? Where did the trees go? Where will man go when he has lost the heart beat beneath his feet. Oh, this is our home. She gives us home, Mother Earth. Can you feel her heart beat beneath your feet? Heart beat beneath your feet. Heart beat beneath your feet. Listen to the animals, listen to the trees, listen to the spirits of the earth begging us, please stop listening to greed. Listen to the rivers, listen to the sea, listen to the spirits of the deep begging us, please stop listening to greed. Listen to the animals, listen to the trees, listen to the spirits of the earth begging us, please stop listening to greed. Listen to the rivers, listen to the sea, listen to the spirits of the deep begging us, please stop listening to greed.